Hello everyone, thank you so much for stopping by the channel. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and to all of you who are returning, thank you so much for coming back. So we're back to talk about another oddity in the book of Genesis. So I'm pretty much going to be going in order with the chapters. So the first one, besides the whole 2,000 year thing that I brought out in the other video, is about Abel. Now, I brought this out in a Storytelling Antics video, which I talked about Abel. I'll put the link to that here if you haven't seen it. Let's just think about this whole idea of Abel sacrificing animals to Jehovah. Now, those of you who don't know, I use the name Jehovah because I used to be a Jehovah's Witness, but I don't believe that that's God's name. Just had to get that out. So let's think about that real quick. We all take it for granted, or most people takes it for granted, that Abel did this, that Abel sacrificed animals to God. But just considering that concept, when you really just think about the circumstances of Abel doing this, you have to ask the question of whether or not that even makes sense that he would do that. Okay, so he was the fourth human being on the earth, according to the story. He didn't create the animals. Okay? He knew that God created the animals. God, according to the story, did not tell him that it would be pleasing to him, or that he would appreciate, or that Abel would even need to sacrifice any animals. Okay? So where would this thought even come from? Why would he even think to kill another living, breathing being that he had no part or took no part in creating, and sacrifice it to God, and just think in his mind that this was something that was going to be pleasing, or this was going to be something that God would say, yes, good job. I really, really appreciate you doing that. What would make him think something like that? I mean, it really doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. Yes, it's in the Bible, and so people just take for granted that this is what happened. But we have to reason stuff out. It doesn't make sense that he would do this. Think about the fact that Adam and Eve had gotten punished for disobeying God by eating some fruit. Okay? Eating some fruit. Doing something that God didn't want them to do. Okay? So God obviously took it seriously when his creation didn't do something that he wanted them to do. So would you imagine, or could you imagine, that Abel would have just took it upon himself, without knowing if God was going to be pleased with this, to actually do such a thing? Does that make sense? So just leave me your comments, you guys, and let me know if this is something that you have considered and what you think about this topic. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you on my next video.